Hey everyone, welcome back. You guys are having a great Monday. So great news. Bitcoin is going way up. We have it based on basically BlackRock possibly getting closer to their Bitcoin Spot ETF. We'll take a look at what's going on there with it and what's driving Bitcoin price going up to almost 35,000 today. It pulled back a little bit, but we got to talk about it. We also have some digital news, Bitfarms news, and that's about it. So we'll get through it. Obviously, we're going to talk about Bitcoin here first. We'll take a look at the charts. See also miners were up huge today, which was great to see. And we'll see how this continues on. So as always, you guys know the drill here. This is not financial advice for entertainment only. Please do your own research. And I'm investing in following coins and companies for full disclosure. If you enjoy this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out tremendously. Also hit the notification bell because YouTube doesn't always notify you when I post a new video. So that will definitely get you guys notified on that. All right, let's take a look at what's going on with Bitcoin here in the Bitcoin Spot ETF, BlackRock, everything else. And here's what we got. So BlackRock preps for Bitcoin ETF launch, lines up seed investor and reveals ticker. So this is good news. This is like little baby steps getting closer to that approval, right? And they actually describe it here in detail a little bit as far as what's going on. So BlackRock's Bitcoin Exchange Traded Fund ETF might be close to launching. A ticker for the iShares Bitcoin Trust IBTC has been listed by the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation. This is a company that basically allows, sets the stock ticker symbols for NASDAQ, ETFs, things like that. So this is part of it. This is part of that process of getting really close to the spot Bitcoin ETF being approved. The DTCC is a massive piece of behind-the-scenes infrastructure in the U.S. financial market. It handles an astounding 2.3 quadrillion in basically sales annually, which makes it the largest financial clearinghouse in the world. Okay, and this is from Eric B. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, so I'm not even going to try to butcher it. The iShares Bitcoin Trust has been listed on the DTCC, which clears NASDAQ trades, and the ticker will be IBTC. Again, all part of the process of bringing ETF to market. Right. This follows obviously last week that the fund manager's latest application amendment shows that a seed investor could be funding the product this month. And I believe, if I'm not wrong, correct me here if I am wrong, that it's Scaramucci. His fund is funding this, I believe. I could be wrong on this, but I thought I heard someplace that he is part of this somehow. In a filing to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission last week, the world's biggest fund manager said the seed capital investor had planned to buy shares in October. We're obviously in October. We don't have a lot of days left in October, but we have seen Bitcoin price going up quite nicely in the last couple of weeks here. So this may coincide with that, which is great. And, excuse me. A seed capital investor initially funds an ETF to get off the ground and trading on a stock exchange. So, right, this is kind of like you got X amount of steps you have to go through in order to get the ETF approved. This is just part of it, okay? BlackRock, which manages 9.5 trillion assets, last week filed its amendment to the SEC. Applications for the ETFs go through a number of drafts, which usually get amended and refiled after feedback from the commission before they're officially approved or rejected. But it seems like we're getting closer to being approved than anything else. BlackRock's seed capital investors section in the filing does not mean that the ETF will necessarily launch this month or even next month, but experts spoke about this change on Twitter. So this is just the steps, right? We still could be, like they say here, a month or 2 months out, 3 months out, whatever it might be. But at least that process is going. We've never had this process get at least this far with any of the spot Bitcoin ETF applications before. So this is good news. Going down here, this is from Scott Johnson. 2 things caught my eye from the latest iShares BlackRock S1 amendment. They've obtained a cusp in prep for the launch. They may be looking to seed with cash this month, which is earlier than I would have thought, but maybe not, maybe nothing basically. And then you have the part here where it's obviously missing the amount that they're going to be seeding. An ETF is an investment vehicle that allows investors to buy shares that track the underlying price of an asset. A Bitcoin ETF would allow investors to get exposure to Bitcoin without having to deal with a crypto exchange or storing the digital coin themselves. So this is a big thing, right? BlackRock has $9 trillion under assets under management. If we look at across the world here, we're looking at closer to 100 trillion. This was back in 2021, 2022, I believe. That was reported. That's significant there. If only 1% goes into it, that's going to be huge here. And then you also have obviously the mom and pops, the pension funds, things like that. They could now buy into Bitcoin without having to custody Bitcoin themselves, making it much easier going forward, and which could obviously propel Bitcoin price going up as well. All right. Next, regulators have given the green light to Bitcoin futures ETFs. which trade contracts betting on the future price of cryptocurrency but have rejected spot products. And from what I've heard from other analysts and people in the trade here, is that usually you have the spot Bitcoin ETF come out first and then followed by the futures. So this is kind of surprising. I didn't know that. I learned something new, but this is kind of something that I've heard recently, and it would make sense to me. I mean, you usually want spot before you have futures, but okay. So nonetheless, this is the way it works. Experts now think that a Bitcoin ETF could get approved very soon, with some analysts at Bloomberg Intelligence saying that there is a 90% chance one will get approved in January. So we're not that far away. We're only about 2 months away from that right now. So we'll definitely have to see how that goes forward. We'll keep an eye on it, obviously. We'll keep you guys posted on if anything changes here. And I think that's, we got a little bit more here. Some analysts have said that the approval of such a product would send the asset's price flying as new capital enters the crypto market. Others are more skeptical. Crypto ETFs already exist in Europe and Canada and haven't led to huge influx of money into the space. That could be true, but we also have a lot of capital here and power in the networks that BlackRock brings to it. Cathie Woods, iShares, Vanek, other ones as well. There's just a lot of capital here that could propel this going forward. So we'll have to see how it goes. I mean, obviously we've had a nice run here in the last couple of days, and we'll take a look at it here. All right, so that's that on the news side of things of what's actually pumping the stock up, or stock Bitcoin price up right now. And if we look at Bitcoin right now, it's still doing really well, surprisingly. Today, it was up about 16.75%. So it reached a high of 35,000. I mean, right in the money here. You can see here, if you look up, I can't really point it to it, but if you look at it, it's 35,000 on the money on the high part of things on the upper bar. Here, the low was 29,890 for today, and then we closed at $33,087. So definitely a really good rally here, and we're up to the races again in the new day right now, which basically changed over at 7 p.m. My time might be different for your time, but it's 7 p.m. for me, and we're up another 1.97%, another $653. Right now, things are looking pretty good. I mean, we're kind of extended here on the RSI as far as where we are. RSI is right now at 86. That's pretty high for it. It's in the overbought territory. But we're seeing a little bit different story here on the 4 hour. Not really the same. Well, I wouldn't say different, but still overbought here on the 4 hour. But the good thing is if you look at the peaks here, each peak is about the same for the most part, but price is much higher. And then we have peaks that are lower with price actually being up higher as well. That's a good sign there. And also when we look at the 1 hour chart, we're seeing the same thing here where the peaks are getting lower, but price is starting to look higher on them as well. So if you look at this peak here, back here, price on this peak, much higher. And obviously this peak over here, we're way up much higher from where we were. So that bodes well for Bitcoin going forward. On the weekly chart, you can also see that Bitcoin is now at the same spot it was back in April of this year. As far as the RSI is concerned, at that point, Bitcoin closed at 30,326. We obviously closed much higher than that today. We closed at 33,700 something. Well, that's on the new day. There we go. 33,796, something like that. So that's a good sign there. We could obviously go much higher as we did here in the previous bull run here, or the first phase of the bull run, but we actually ended up going down lower with the RSI while price was actually going up higher. So that could happen as well. So in reality, there's really two ways that things are going to work out going forward for us. If we look at this chart here where I can actually draw things on, we might actually go up a little bit more here before everything's said is done and then come back down and test this range over here and then come back up. That's one theory that might happen. The other theory is that we might actually go back down here, test this, go up, and then fall back even more to the 28,600 mark to kind of test that again. I think it all depends on when the spot Bitcoin ETF I think gets approved. If it doesn't get approved here within the next couple of weeks, month or two, that's the plan we might be going here. But otherwise, if we also find out news on other spot Bitcoin ETFs applications getting, the cusp ID, that they're seeding, things like that, that's going to drive the price even more. So there's really a couple variables that you can go with on this one, and we'll have to see which one actually takes root, takes shape, and continues going forward into it. But it's definitely exciting. So the miners also had a fantastic day today. If we look at those really quick on the daily chart here, we'll get rid of some of these. Maybe we'll keep the lines here that we do have. But I mean, Annie was up 17% today. Oh, yeah, let's get rid of the daily lines because that's messing with the chart. Let's see here. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay. So obviously a huge day here for Annie. They're up 17%. Argo was up almost 16% on the day. BitDigital was up 5.8% on the day. BitDeer was actually down 8.44%. Surprisingly, they're continuing to go down even though we're having a rally here, which is interesting to note. Bitfarms was up 10.78%. Cypher was up only 2.69%. CleanSpark was up 8.55%. They were up much higher. They came back a little bit more. I think in the after hours now, they're still up another like 8%. Let me see if we can see the after hours trading right now on it. Let's see here if we can pull that in. Volume extended hours. There we go. Extended hours. I'm not seeing anything right now. I think it pretty much closed up. Yeah, I was seeing it earlier, but I'm not seeing it now. So CleanSpark was up 8.55% today. Cores was up 15.66%. DigiHost was up 10%. DMG up over 16%. Greenwich up 21%. Hive was up 5.39%. Hut 8 was up 13.4%. Iris Energy, not so much, only 1.91%. Then we have, that didn't go well. Marathon was up 12.76% up. Mawson was up 6.38%. Riot was up 9.02%. Soluna up 12.61%. Stronghold was up 12.38%. Wolf was up 9% as well. So a really good day in the miners for the start of the week. We had a pretty good week last week as well, and it's kind of a continuation of what we've had so far. What to do going forward? That's a tough question. Dollar cost averaging as best you can, not financial advice as always, but I'm going to probably try and buy on the dips here a little bit before we really do hit the rally here. And it really all depends on when we get the spot Bitcoin ETF. If we get it faster, obviously things are going to pick up a lot more. If it drags on longer, I think we might be coming back down a little bit more because, well, that's the way investors work. And yeah, we'll have to see how things go. But in the meantime, dollar cost averaging, that's all I can say. Not financial advice as always, but that's kind of what I'm going to be doing. Here you can obviously trade it if you have time to do day trades. Other than that, tell me what you guys are doing right now, but that's kind of my plan is to dollar cost averaging. Okay, so that's it for that. Let's get into some of the stories that we do have that are other than Bitcoin here, but Bitcoin related. And those would include, let me see here, BitDigital. So BitDigital Inc. launches new AI business, secures customer contract worth up to $257 million and procures NVIDIA H100 GPUs. I wonder if this is the type of, it's not 25.7 million. 257 million is a lot for AI. But we'll see if we can find it over here. I don't think I wrote it down, but here's what they had. Under the agreement, BitDigital will provide customer with rental services for a minimum of 1,024 GPUs and a maximum of 4,096 GPUs. The total number of GPUs, contract length, and corresponding unit pricing will be determined upon signing the master service agreement. Concurrently, BitDigital has agreed to purchase 1,056 NVIDIA HGX H100 GPUs and has funded the initial deposit for the purchase order. Okay, so that's good there. Let's see, what else do we have here? Service for a leading global provider of digital infrastructure services for approximately 35 million. So from XFusion Digital. BitDigital has agreed to purchase 132 Fusion 1 HPCs from XFusion, okay, for 35 million. And then, let's see here. I thought I saw it somewhere down here where it said as far as what they're going to be doing. Binding term sheet to provide cloud-based GPU resources to a customer with an initial contract duration spanning of 1 to 3 years. The customer is focused on developing AI applications, including their own proprietary large language model, as well as capitalize following a 2023 funding round. So somebody new, obviously. And then pricing a total value of the contract will be determined by the total number of GPUs and contract term. For the minimum 1,024 GPUs, BitDigital expects the contract to generate between approximately 23 million and 27 million in annual revenue. Okay. So, okay, that's at 1,024. If they're saying 4,000, okay, so you double that, or no, okay, then I guess it could be 100 million, but that seems a lot of money to me. Boy, that's a lot of money. I have to do some more research onto that, see what others are charging for access to that kind of GPUs and things like that, as far as Amazon with their AWS systems and Google and Microsoft. But somebody paying that much, that's definitely a lot. But that could be worth it. Who knows? But I'll find out more information on that. If you guys have any information on that, let me know down in the comments below, okay? And then if we look at Bitfarms here really quick, Bitfarms reaches 240 megawatts and 6.3 exahash as Beocom fully energized initial phase. So if you remember, they bought this facility in early this year, July, I believe it was. I think they've been posted here. By fully energizing Beocom, we increased our corporate operating capacity with cost-effective and clean hydropower and achieved our 6.3 exahash goal. So that's great. So I have them in my spreadsheet added in there. I don't have the spreadsheet up here, but it does obviously help. It's going to be about for another 8 days, 8 or 9 days running this time of the month. Next month, it should be fully operational, obviously. We'll have better numbers for that. And then here's, continuing on here, we will continue to manage our balance sheet prudently to be positioned to capture growth opportunities both before and after the next Bitcoin halving, expected in mid-April of 2024. So we're about 5-6 months away. Bitfarms acquired Beocom in July 2023 with the plan to reach 11 megawatts by the end of Q3 2023 and add another 11 megawatts when power is made available, which is expected in the second half of 2024. So sometime after the halving event, between June and I guess December of next year sometime. So it's still quite a ways out. Nonetheless, I think this is pretty good news for them. I have updated my spreadsheet also to remove some of the older miners that they had, the 90 terahash, 80 terahash miners and things like that, and replace them with some of the newer miners that they purchased and installed to get them a little bit better efficiency rate going forward, which is what they said that they're going to be doing. They're going to be replacing some of the miners that they do have that are older with the newer miners. So that's kind of what I did there. And that's about it. So, like I said, we'll have to keep an eye on, see what's going on here with Bitcoin, obviously. I mean, it's still continuing to go up here. I think right now, yeah, I mean, it's up another 2.62% as it is. Right now, we spoke, it was 197 or something like that. It's another up 6.6% right now. So it's just continuing to go, which is nice to see. And maybe the FOMO is starting to get in a little bit as well. But we'll have to keep an eye on it, see what happens. Don't get too excited on it. We could get a little bit of a reprieve here in the coming days where the price comes down a little bit if we don't have a lot of news going forward. Okay, that's my take on that one. Let me know what you guys think. And as always, thank you to everyone for watching. If you enjoy this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. And we'll keep you guys posted to see what happens next. We're only a couple of days away from the month ending. And we'll start getting the production updates for October. And we'll also start getting the Q3 results for the miners in the next probably 4 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks, I'm guessing here. So we'll keep you guys updated on that, see which ones are top of the line in there, see which ones have performed the best for October, for the Q3 numbers and things like that. So those will be coming out as well. And we'll obviously keep an eye on what's going on with Bitcoin here and the spot Bitcoin ETFs, because it is getting exciting. We are getting closer to them getting approved, which is great news there. And then just one final note, if you guys, especially the ones that are on Patreon with me and the Discord channels, if you see somebody asking you guys for joining a mailing list or something to join his class or something like that, pretending to be me, that's not me. That's basically a scammer trying to take advantage of you guys. So if you ever see anything like that, send it my way, talk to me directly. More than happy to answer any of those things. But as you guys know, I don't really offer anything else other than Patreon. So Patreon and Discord. And that's it for at least right now. Okay? So I appreciate you guys watching very much. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, bye.